Hey everyone, welcome back to another Rugged DIY. I'm Steve Mikulich. Today we're going to be setting up some garden sprinkler systems. This is part of a major landscape renovation that I started in my front yard last year. We've already got the majority of the main lines run throughout the yard. We're just going to be tying in some of the gardens into the sprinkler system. It is a hot day today, so we're going to try to make this a quick video and get this out to you. So let's get going. Alright, so the first thing I gotta do is just dig up some lines right here and splice a couple of lines together. So let's go ahead and do that. Alright, so the first thing that we're going to need to do is remove this C-clamp. We're going to have to cut this 1-inch pipe, and then we'll put an elbow that'll connect into a T. Alright, and we'll connect these lines here. And then after all of that's done, we'll bury this back up, we'll compact it down, spread the gravel back out, and then we'll go on to put the actual sprinkler heads in the rest of the garden. Alright, so here, this is really important, okay, because when I was working on putting down the main lines last year, I made the mistake of not wearing gloves during one of my cuts and cutting towards myself, and I actually had to go get about 10 stitches in the palm of my hand because I cut right through the pipe, right into the palm of my hand, and all the way down to the bone. So using a cut-resistant glove and cutting away from yourself is incredibly important. When working with the polyurethane pipe, if you heat it up slightly with the torch, it makes it much easier to get the fittings on. Okay, so that wraps up splicing the pipes together so that we have the center garden spliced in with the front garden and the box gardens. Now we're going to go ahead and bury this. We'll come back at the end of the project and compact everything down and move all the gravel back. But now we'll go ahead and start putting all of the lines in for the sprinklers in the gardens. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're actually going to cut this line below the ground. This is the line that we attached over there at the main access. And so what we have is a 1-inch pipe that it has a 3/4 inch threaded attachment to it. We're going to put a threaded attachment onto the funny pipe and attach that here, and then we'll run a single line down the garden, which will run the 1/4 inch line off of to each one of the sprinkler heads. Okay, so I just cut the line down below the ground level, which is where I want it now. I can go ahead and take off this cap. And I'll be able to join this line with the funny pipe and run the funny pipe down the length of the garden. All right, this is really simple, all right? All this does is it attaches the same manner in which that does, just smaller, right? So it's got a little nipple here, just pushes right into the funny pipe, and then you just screw it on, and it makes it nice and secure. And so this is really nice, so if you ever had to recut your line or anything, you're not having to do the crimped on components, which you'd have to cut off and then redo. So this gives you more versatility as far as changing the layout of your sprinkler system. All right, so now that I got that line there, go ahead and attach this on here and run the line. Okay, now that I got the length of hose run all the way to the area where I want it, I went ahead and cut off the excess, and then all we're going to do is take this plug. This line is under low pressure because I have a low pressure regulator at the tap. So we won't need any sort of C-clip or anything to hold these on. If you just put them on here, press them in until they're nice and snug, these caps will be sufficient to hold the line. And then all I need to do is put down some little clips to hold the line down into place. We'll punch some holes, put the sprinklers where we want them, and this area of the garden is done. And then we just need to finish the front and the sprinklers for the gardens are complete. Alright, so now all I've got to do is place in the sprinklers around the garden. I went ahead and turned on the grass sprinklers for just a moment so I could see the coverage area that gets into the garden, so I know where I want to place my garden sprinklers. Just go ahead and remove that. Alright, I'm just going to stick a hole right in the side of the tube. Push the piece inside. Stick that right down into the ground. This is a 360 spinner, so this will just create a 360 spin all the way around. And it's wide open. All right, just place the rest of them. All right, for this plant, what I want to do is actually do a drip sprinkler. So with this one, it just comes with a little stake, and you just cut a little bit of the 1/4-inch pipe, punch the hole, stake it in, and it'll just water this individually. Now, since I have this line, I can always expand with more sprinklers, and as you can see from the garden, I still have a lot of blank spaces that I need to fill up, and I'm going to fill up over time. But I have more plants that are supposed to arrive in the fall, so I don't want to fill the garden yet, and until I know exactly where everything is, I don't want to put sprinklers everywhere because there's no point to water plants that aren't here yet. All right, this is the last portion of garden that we need to set up the drip system in. I've got another main access point right here, so I just got to dig that up, attach the 1/2-inch pipe, run kind of a T, and then I'll just run the 1/4-inch line to the different shrubs that I've got up in front, and then I've got a couple of small flowers, some daylilies that I'll run some fan sprays to. That'll be it. That'll be the end of the project. Now I'm just going to cut off a little bit of line here and make a connection between these two components in order to make my tea. In the future, I'm going to be putting mulch down over the entire garden, which will help kind of conceal that pipe. And I'm going to put in more plants in all of this empty space, and all the foliage will eventually cover all that up so that you can't really see that pipe anymore. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put in my 1/4-inch line and run my line to each one of my shrubs. And I've got another one of these little drippers for each one of these plants. It'll just stake right into the ground, and it'll water each plant individually. And then, like I said before, I've got the fan sprays for the daylilies. I left a little bit of slack in the 1/4-inch line in case I want to come back in and adjust it later. I tried to get that stake as close to the center of the plant as possible so that when the fan drip system kind of comes out, it gets all the way around what will be the ball of the plant. And I've got some little 1/4-inch stakes to help secure this line down. I can come and do that in the future. Alright, that's it. It was a pretty simple video today, just a simple garden sprinkler installation. I hope that you found the video useful. If you did enjoy this video, please like and subscribe so that I can send you more content. And today is the 4th of July, so I hope that you're all out there being safe and spending time with your families. I'm gonna go spend some time with my family now. I appreciate you watching. Thank you.